Eileo guys, and welcome back. Today we have Varia for the next character analysis video. Varia is obviously a melee assassin. She's very close range. Of course she got that waifu action. Definitely down with Varia, but her skills essentially scale off both of her attack. Her skill attack being 4% more than her base attack, but whatever, you're building her with physical attack, physical damage, and that should be it. So let's check out her costumes real quick though. She has like 85 of them. That one is like supreme awesomeness. Of course, you got to give the people what they want, man. You got to give the people what they want. She got some bunny action there, some bunny kind of cat girl action because of those non-bunny claws. Schoolgirl, Varia, whatever the heck you want to call her. Then some Christmas action, and then her normal suit, of course. Overall, her design is pretty darn cool, but let's check out her equipment and, of course, her exclusive weapon. So for her exclusive weapon, called Weapon for Varia, her Predator, after using skills, she gets a self buff of 15% to her physical attack for 8 seconds with a 12-second cooldown. So essentially, when she's using all of her skills, this has roughly a 4-second cooldown. So she's going to have pretty much a 15% physical attack boost all of the time, which is lovely, quite lovely. And let's take a look at her equipment suggestion over here. It's suggested that she has Rampaging Reaper or White Knight Sacrifice. Rampaging Reaper boosts her physical attack and then raises her defense. It also boosts accuracy, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, it's going for DPS only, and I can only assume that the tier 6 equipment goes for the same thing, probably with even better bonuses. But let me see if I can get this to pull up. Maybe I can't. No, I can't. Okay, there's the details of it. Yep, so again, this boosts her physical attack, and it does have the option. Look at that physical attack. Holy crap. And it does have the option as well to boost her crit and her additional damage to normal enemies and her critical attack amount and extra skill damage. So very powerful. If you can get even a couple pieces of tier 5 equipment for her, I mean not tier 5 but tier 6, she could be a big problem. Let's go over here and check a look at her skills. So her ultimate skill, Unleash Wildness, has an 18-second cooldown, unleashes her wild nature, temporarily enhancing her abilities, steals HP on hit, so her basic attack, and then Ferocious Claws, which is, I'm assuming is one of her other moves, heals 1% of her HP per hit for 5 seconds, so that could be very helpful. And then it boosts her basic attack damage up, so the more we level it up, the more her basic attack damage goes up. It boosts her physical attack and then her attack speed as well, all for 8 seconds, and then it nerfs the enemy's movement speed the more we level it up. So the slower the enemy is going to get, so it's kind of like a cat attacking its prey. Once she hits, you can't really go nowhere. She's just going to lay into you and slow you down while she's healing herself, which doesn't change, understandably, because you don't want someone with all kinds of HP, you know, getting 5% of their HP back per hit for 5 seconds. And with a 18-second cooldown, that means for pretty much 10 seconds, these buffs will be off, but within 10 seconds, they should be back again, which can be very scary. So her second skill, Ferocious Claws, which is the other one where the HP still applies with a 6-second cooldown, claws at enemies in front. If this skill is used for a second time, she deals damage by kicking the enemies. If it's used again, she repeatedly claws at enemies in front while standing still. So this move has 3 parts to it, and it looks like every time we level it up, all the damage on all 3 of these increase. This one is essentially just the same as that one, but it just hits 2 times, so do keep that in mind. That one's 1 hit, and then that one hits 4 times, which 30%, 60, pretty much they all do the same damage They all do the same damage. It's just that the hits are separating the damage. So do keep that in mind. Oh, and then the last hit is the same damage as all the other ones. But I didn't know that the third hit had another hit after it. So that's 3 hits right there. That's 7 hits. So it should be 8 hits total. That's a lot of hits. Especially with her ult up. If you can get all of those hits off within 5 seconds. That's 8 hits. That's 8% of her HP already. Like, oof. Not even counting basic attack. If you can get all of that off within 5 seconds. And a 6-second cooldown, extremely spammable. But it looks like she is locked in place while she does that though. So do keep that in mind. Distance might be a problem. And then her other active is Leap. Leaps over to a select spot and reinforces her abilities. The leap just causes some damage. It gives her like a little protective barrier, and then it boosts her movement speed as well. The more we level it up, the more damage it does. The bigger her barrier gets, well, the more tankier it gets, and the more faster she gets as well. And a 9-second cooldown, so the barrier is going to be off for 4 seconds, and then her movement speed goes off for 6 seconds. It's not a big deal, especially with a 9-second cooldown. That's nothing. So her first passive is Wild Power. It boosts her critical attack amount. Her second one is Agile Predator, boosts her evasion, which can be very problematic in a PvP situation. And then the last one just boosts her physical attack. Overall, very lackluster in my opinion. I've reviewed a lot of characters in this game so far, as you guys know, and very lackluster. I think Varia is one of the people that were created earlier in the game, so it kind of explains why her passives don't really do anything. Like, they could just combine her physical attack and the critical attack amount into one and give her something else, like maybe more HP still. Who knows? We just got to see the character in action though. And then over here for her traits, this isn't over. It has a 24-second cooldown. If attacked, her HP is recovered by 10%, and then she has extra skill damage by 15% for 8 seconds. So essentially the extra skill damage rotates in and out pretty much every 16 seconds, and then her HP recovery 10% for every 16 seconds. Not 16, but 24 seconds. So do keep that in mind. And then the second one, Feel the Wild Power. She gets a boost in her physical attack by 10% for 8 seconds with a 12-second cooldown. And once it hits 100 Fury is when it will activate. And 15 points per hit. 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. So within a couple of hits, less than 7 hits, and she should be getting that off. And for 8 seconds, I mean, there's only 4 seconds in between for you to get that 100 Fury back, or starting to get that 100 Fury back. So that should be staying up pretty much all of the time. But let's take a look at her out here on the field. Let's see what Varia can do. Alright, no auto game. No auto. Very weird stance on her. Very weird stance. Let's get that ult. Actually, no. Let's see the second move first. So yeah, very close range, but you can see already, once you're done with it, there's a 4 seconds left on it. And this is the leap move to help her close in. So I'm assuming that you would leap, bust this out, and of course bust her ult out. But let's try to leap again first. So leap over there, bust her ult, and then bust out the Ferocious Claws. And as long as the little claw marks, I'm assuming on the side, stay. Yep, the claw marks on the side stay from her ult. So when that is up, she is in HP still mode. When it is not up, she's not in HP still mode. And let's take a look at her basic attack. So she's close range, obviously, with those claws. So leap in, pop that ult, and then we do the Ferocious Claws, which she can move. She can move during the combo, but obviously once you're in the animation, you can't move anywhere. But she can do just like this if you need if you needed to. If you needed to hit 3 different enemies, she could definitely do that, which is good to know. I figured she would be locked in the animation period, but she isn't. She's not locked in the whole animation, is what I meant. But that looks like it's pretty much Varia, you guys. She definitely seems pretty cool. I mean, she's your standard assassin pretty much, with some self-sustain, which can be very, very useful, especially for a DPS. And if you guys use Varia, please leave a comment below stating why, or do you regret building her? Is she someone that you guys still use today? Please let us know in the comments below. But that's it for Varia, you guys. There's 2 more character analysis videos on the way, so do keep in mind with those coming up. But I pretty much covered all the characters in the game so far, and as always, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace out.